Welcome to the Nerd Herd Nomad channel. This is our story of how we bought a 2001 Bluebird school bus from Pennsylvania, drove it home to Florida, and we gutted the inside all the way from the floor to the ceiling, and then we raised the roof about 20 inches. And we did it as a family. And we're going to continue our home on wheels and travel the United States and Canada.
Okay, so today we're going to try to install that. At least 80 to 90% of the installation. We're not going to hook it up, but we want to get all the hole cut in the wall, the mounting surface, all that kind of stuff set in place, and get the hole sealed up on the out, because it's like a 12-inch hole on either direction. There's a big hole. This is our 6-gallon Suburban electric/gas water heater. Just so you can see what it is. I'm not sure if that's even focusing. That is the installation for the Suburban porcelain lined steel tank RV water heater. We got the model SW6DE, which basically means 6-gallon. So that's it. Broke the bit. That's not good. I'll be back. See you in a bit. Okay, so that's the Sawzall, cutting that hole. I like the Sawzall. Sawzall is quick. I mean, quick work of all the thing, and it doesn't create that massive heat the grinder does. And you don't have to worry about the grinder breaking apart, things like that. Problem with the Sawzall, that I have anyway, is it's hard to see the blade, and it will walk everywhere. So it's not as accurate as a grinder. The grinder, you cut thin lines. You can be really accurate with a grinder with a cutting blade. With the Sawzall, did it in no time flat. I'd be here for another 20 minutes with a grinder. So now I gotta hope I didn't cut it way too big and go from that. But that's the hole for the water tank. Ha-ha. that is the hole. So yeah, sorry I kind of put that in there without turning the camera on. I kind of forgot. It's kind of early in the morning here. But what you can see, what I did is, we have, this is the frame right here. The black is the skin of the almost said of the boat. Is the skin of the bus. And then you got the white. I have 2 layers of PVC. So that's basically an 1.5 inch worth of PVC. And then I have this little piece of 3/8 inch. This is just basically a spacer between this and my furring strips. So you got 3/8 plus 3/4 inch. They're all leaning up against that. And eventually that will all be screwed together. And all kinds of caulking and stuff like that. But I was far less concerned about the PVC board giving way to just the wiggling of the Yukon 1,000 miles of dirt road. And any water, I hope that it would help to mitigate it, because I'm going to do a heavy coat on the inside to prevent it from coming any further in than it has to. Because you know it's going to come in, it's reality. Water finds a way. But that's it. So let me go set up for the rest of the morning. Yep, that's my hole. Okay. After adjusting this piece here, this is the side support on the rear side, or the left side as you're facing from our direction. It's closest to the rear of the bus. And trimming out these little notches there so that they would fit around things. Now I'm going to Kreg. I also see I put a brace right here. Right here. So that it left enough space for my shelf itself that's going to hold up the water heater there. So this goes over there, sits like that together. I'm going to Kreg that in place. We're going to Kreg there, down there where that piece of wood goes across that furring strip, and then we're going to Kreg across the bottom. And that should hold it pretty steady. And then we'll put the shelf on it, and we'll be moving right along. Stay tuned. Okay, here we're catching up. Now, first thing you're going to notice is this board is a lot longer than all the others. Like, that's a short board. This board over here is really short. The reason for that is I didn't want to go real wide with this, but I wanted to have the structural support of the height. I also didn't want to go to this wall because I have pipes that need to go behind here for the shower. So that's why this is longer this way. It's shorter here because this is going to become an access cabinet to store something. We'll just have to deal with this issue right here. But I need that to be, I don't want it to bend. I don't want this to bend. So it's all glued and screwed. The next part is cutting a piece that will fit over this rectangle right here. And then after that, we can set the platform into place and start the actual mounting. This is all still done in the platform. So. Ground, terrible. California. Let's turn that off. Go away, love bug. Let me take that clamp off. So that, the actual water tank says install it at ground level or floor level. I didn't want to do that because the rub rails are at floor level, and I don't want to cut through all that steel. Rub rails are very useful. It's kind of a safety item. It's not kind of, it is a safety item. So we brought the ground up to it. This is up about 30 inches, 30 something inches. It's all 3/4 inch supporting it. Solid. And now we're going to take a short break and set it in there and see what it looks like. Hopefully everything's right. It's in the way. Up here and sliver on the side here. Can you cut a piece of this thick, 3/8?
Yeah.
Big enough for this whole thing. That same size. I'm not going to remeasure it because we did cut it again. Oh, I find my...
Go all the way to this wall.
No, no, here. Here we go. Just as big as that piece right there.
Nothing's gonna love you like wood glue.
snug. So, well, we're done. No, we're not done. Okay. But one last thing that I didn't film the building of. I was tinkering before we started this build with this. It's basically just a support. Can you turn that off? Sorry, please. Thank you. And of course the train just showed up. The company said take a 2x4 and put it right there to hold this from moving around. It just seemed that the edge of a 2x4 would eventually bite into this, especially driving up through the Yukon. So I built this. It's a couple pieces of 3/8 and then some 3/4 inch little triangles, just holding it together, glued and screwed. That's it. And then this is going to go there. And then this one, same thing. Same thing. Goes over here. And we'll glue those down. Once we have it where we want it, we'll mark where they're going to be at. We'll take it off. We'll put some holes. We'll mark where the glue's going to go, and then we'll run a screw up through each one of them. Once we know exactly where this is going to go. But we don't know that until we go outside and see if the outside part's going to fit. So that's what we're going to do now. So, peace out, minimies. We're going to go outside.